Good evening. A quick screencast of the world's indices. These are all 1 hour charts. We've got the Dow Jones here. We see that price has just entered at the bottom of the cloud. It's above pink, it's above red. On the S&P 500, we have price entered into the cloud, still sitting above the pink, red just about to come in, pink's inside the cloud. They're just coming in on this Dow. So that's a benchmark. The S&P 500's looking pretty good. This red line is the 50% of the range, so from the low there to the high there, the red's running through, we're above and we're testing up on these highs. If the S&P 500 gets over the 1084 mark, we're in a little bit of a breakout mode. We've got a barrier there at 1087, and then we just watch to wait for this blue line to come back up through the green line. Where's the ASX or the Aussie 200, the SPY? It's still sitting underneath this red line, the 50% of the range. So it's still feeling a little bit bearish. Pink is coming up, but pink is still underneath red, whereas up on the two American indices, we see they've been more bullish, pink above red, pink above red. So the Aussie's following behind. It's got this strong line of resistance. It certainly sees that spot there. We can bring that up and you see that the red line there acting as resistance. It's probed once, otherwise it hasn't broken down underneath the pink, but we've got the cloud here, the two moving averages pointing downwards. Is it time to take them on? Where's the rest of the world at? Well, the DAX rallied up into the cloud. Pink's got above red, hasn't really been tested. It's been tested a while ago. This is that vague at 6100, the halfway mark of the range. If the equivalent on the Aussie, 4440 is roughly where it would be at, and that's in line with the S&P 500. Similar scenario, pink hasn't come up yet, so the S&P 500 obviously rallied in here, giving that pink line some momentum, whereas it didn't rally in here, it rallied in here behind with the DAX. It's a step behind. Currently on the Aussie, it was trying to rally before the S&P 500 and hasn't had the subsequent rally to go with it. The FTSE, okay, similar thing, cloud pointing downwards, sitting right down here on the pink and red, right on the 50% line. It's been at a tight range in here. We can see that it's been on this downtrend, and any little step above this, then we'll be looking at 5086 as a midpoint. Get above that, take on a cloud, try and look like the S&P 500, and we're 5120. Now the FTSE 250, a little bit more speculative. It's the mid-range. It's got above pink. Red's still sitting up here, and right back up here is the cloud. So there's a nice, very flat range in here. We've got above it. Can it rally above it and get back up to the cloud? If equilibrium amongst all the indices is the cloud, we've got the S&P 500 in the cloud, the Dow just touching the bottom of it, hasn't caught it on the Aussie, the DAX is in. When we look to the Nikkei, we see that it's very similar to the XJO, using that red line as resistance, still underneath the range from these 2 points. At the 50% line, hasn't rallied above it. We've had one little probe above, still sitting above pink. So when you compare these two charts, if anything, the Aussie is following the Nikkei. When we move to the Hang Seng, we see that price has actually rallied above the cloud. Pink was above, red sitting back here, and we got that big breakout. Broke above the light blue here, which is the old range, and price is still sitting above pink, pink pointing down. We'll bring this chart up because it's the interesting one. We see that the midway point is back down here at 20,695. Pink's dropped back down, so the mid-range of there to in here is in here at the 20,738. Price is coming down to test that. and it is quite possible that it'll come down and test this strength down here. 20,000 was a big benchmark when we were talking back here a few days ago, or a few hours ago. It's a 1 hour chart, so trying to come back into it. No, it was a little while ago. It was last week. Here's that we were back into the 19,000s. We see that we've managed to break out, create this light blue hump. Now price came up. Oh gee, exactly on the light blue hump. Now we're looking for this breakout to continue. That was my quick view on the world's indices. I see the Hang Seng is leading the pack at the moment. The ones that are following, the S&P 500 and the DAX. The Dow is then just following up behind. The Nikkei just getting close to the cloud. The Aussie just similar, not quite to the cloud. Following then the FTSE and trailing behind the FTSE 250. Hope you found that interesting. Thank you.